Yeah, hey everybody. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Contractor's Corner. Oh my gosh, my voice is shot. I apologize. I had a new little intro that I was working on there with that little spinny coin thing, and it syncs with some music that I have to start on my end. Not that you guys care about this stuff, but I just want you to know that I nailed it, and you should let Jeff know that I nailed it, because we were pretty sure I was going to ruin it. The music was going to be all off, and oh my God. And so right now, Jeff is rebooting his entire system, his internet, his router, and all that stuff. But I do have the lovely Rosie. Look, there's my baby. She's sitting there waiting to take calls. Anybody wants to call in? What do? They dial that number right there, 813 Live SCC, 813-548-3722. You guys, it is Tuesday, May 10th, 2022. And yes, I looked at the calendar and I can't believe it's May. Like Rose said, oh my God. Like seriously. Oh, look, you can see my light. That's weird looking. That was weird. Anyhow, so yeah, we are here. We are alive. If you guys want to call the phone, by all means, call it. Rosie's there. She's ready to take your calls. And we will get into this shortly. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's see. Oh, wait. I gotta turn off this. Oh my God, I lost my screen. I don't know what I'm doing. Where to go? Let me push that button. Let's see who's in the chat. Timothy Ransom. We got Timothy Ransom. Hi, Charlie and the boss.
Somebody's calling.
Somebody's calling in, so we're gonna throw Rosie out and we'll come back to her and we'll see how that pops up. Let's see. We got Todd Thursby. What up, Charlie? Sorry, been a little since I tuned in. I had to take a couple weeks off from my oldest daughter's wedding. Oh, that's awesome. That's a sad day and a happy time all at the same time. I feel you, man. Oh my gosh. Woo. I'm looking forward to that day, and oh my gosh, for real. Dennis Lewis, what's up? Bitcoin John, how are you, sir? I just like Bitcoins. I'm just saying, I love me some cryptos, even the crappy ones. Yep, I'm still a Doge guy. I'm holding on to that shit for stuff. My bad. Oops, there, I slipped it. Oops. Oh my gosh, here we go. 171, what's up, buddy? Craig Hutchinson, I see you. Man, I'm glad y'all are popping in. I can't wait to see who's calling, and I'm expecting a call today about a topic. I'm hoping somebody calls in that I was given a heads up that they would be calling. I got some prep work done for that. Anyhow, you guys, you know what? We should do this fuel surcharge thing if you guys want to knock that out real quick. We can I'm pretty excited about that, so maybe I should do that. What do you say? Should we do the fuel? I'm gonna do the fuel surcharge. Let's do this. Let's click this button and make things happen. Come on, let's go. So this week's national average went up 11.4 cents to 562.3. Whoop whoop. Digging that. Love it. West Coast Pad 5 only went up 5 cents to 6.071, which closes that gap on the West Coast national average. So we're the gap between the Pad 5 and the national average is down to 0.448, which means the West Coast fuel surcharge is 0.07 cents. Man, we were at like 11-12 recently, and that was awesome. But hey, an extra 7 cents, extra 7 cents. But the fuel surcharge itself is at a record high 0.743 cents. And that, my friends, I freaking love. Absolutely love it. 74 cents. And you know what? I think we're going to go up again. I'm going to throw it out right now. My prediction for next week, we're going to see another climb. I said it. I mean it. Let's see what happens. Hope you guys got that. If not, ask again later on and we'll touch on it again if you guys want to. But let's get back to this other thing and let's see how you guys are doing, man, huh? Yeah. And here we are. Trucker Dan, good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you're here. So, like I said, we're waiting on Jeff to reboot his whole system. I just shook my whole table and just looked. The world, oh my God, the world's moving. What the heck? Eric Barnum, buddy, what's going on? Good to see you. Man, I got to call you soon, see how things are going. See how the progress is going along, and I hope it's going good. And man, I miss your uncle. Dude, I talked to your uncle that day. I like that guy. I don't know if you understand that, but I like your uncle. All right. So that is the call that I want to get. Um, Rick, just so you know, I am going to get to you just as soon as I possibly can. And we got some stuff. I really want to wait till Jeff gets back on. So if you can bear with us, hang on tight. You can hear the show from the room over there, and we will get to you. Let me type this little message real quick. All right, I had to type a little message there. Call in number, Hunter. You want to know the call in number, sir? I got you. Ask and you shall receive. Check this out. It's 813 live SCC right here. Pow. Oh, I should take off Eric's. My bad. Look, I'm covering it all up. 813 live SCC 813-548-3722. If you call in and get put on hold, just so you know, you will be hearing the show on the hold, so you're not going to miss anything. Rick, I'm going to get to you soon, buddy. I just want to get Jeff back in here because he's my other half of this conversation. Well, he's the other third of this conversation we're going to have. So just know that I see you. Hang tight, buddy, and we will get to your question because I like your topic. And I think it's a good discussion to have, and I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah, hope you guys are having a good week this week. Yeah, check this out. Let me pull this off the screen real quick. That's the number. If you want to call in, by all means, call in. Rosie will take your call. Oh, look, somebody else is calling in, and they will. She will get to you just as soon as she can. And until that point, let's. How you guys doing, man? Seriously, I don't like to jump right into information and crazy business, man. You got to do the hellos and all that wonderful stuff. Sue, you out there? I hope you're out there, Sue. I like Sue. Let's see. Man, where is Jeff? Oh, yeah, he said about 5 minutes. My bad. Look, so I'm a little under the weather. I apologize. A little off my game. You know, last couple of weeks have been interesting. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Yeah, oh my gosh, we got some stuff to talk about, and none of this was planned. It all came up at the last minute. You're gonna There she is. Of course she is. She said, "Hi everyone." Oh, I got weird things happening with my cell phone. I hope that's not coming through in your guys' ears because I hear it in mine a little. Makes me nuts. Excuse me. You know what? That cigar is dead. I'm gonna need a fresh cigar for this conversation we're gonna have. And so bear with me just a moment. Todd Thursby, what's up, buddy? Eric, Sue is a OOC, an owner operator consultant out of Ocala. When you make that jump, I'm going to recommend you talk to her. I know you're out of the Atlanta area, so those folks actually might be good for you up there as well. The Atlanta people definitely take care of their own. Oh my gosh, this feedback from my phone. Look at that. I moved it a half an inch and it went away. Oh my God, it was going to make me nuts. Rick, I see you. I just want you to know I will come to you. I promise. We're getting there. And looks like Jeff is back. Let's see. Jeff. Jeff, are you with me, sir?
I think so.
All right. Alan Becker, how you doing, buddy? We got Alan. We got Sue. All the regular troublemakers are here. Jeff, we've got calls on hold right now. Rosie's taking another one. And we have Rick Jenkins on the line who wants to discuss miles per gallon versus speed. And let's see, we got another question here. It's Donnie, a new lease up question. Rick, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to take this other call real quick because I feel like this won't be a long question. So I'm going to take Donnie first. Jeff, if you're up for it, let's see what this question is. Don't know what the question is. Just know it's a new lease op. And we will see how this goes. It'll be fun. See if everything works. Donnie, are you there, buddy?
Yes, Charlie. How are you this
Oh, what's up, man? I love when the phones actually work. You're on with Jeff and Charlie.
Yay. Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. So, guys, here's my situation. I'm a new lease op for about 12 days, and I'm very fortunate to land on a absolutely wonderful DL board
Nice.
out of Ocala. And she has explained and worked with me tremendously.
Oh,
But
please
my
tell me it's
question
Sue.
was, I wasn't going to throw her name out, but
Oh, you don't understand.
yeah, you,
We love
yeah,
Sue. We absolutely love Sue.
yeah. Sue is amazing.
All right,
So,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
um, uh, well, since we're there, Sue has done a wonderful job of post lease education for me and helped me through understanding quite a bit. But
Nice.
my question is, what is Swift's position about a pre educational opportunity before you lease so that a leasee can fully understand what is the overall picture, what the overall
You know,
expectations are,
Donnie,
what life,
it's
what?
funny you should say
Yes,
that.
go ahead.
This is actually something Jeff and I are working on hard when we get the free time to do that. Jeff is writing some educational materials that's going to be kind of a hardbound or digital copy of something along those lines. What we're actually
Hmm.
wanting to do is work with people before they sign that lease for a period of
Yes,
30, 60, 90 days, whatever we can get worked in, so that you come into this knowing, number one, is this something you want to do? Is this the kind of work you want to do? Because it's a big transition going from company driver to owner op or contractor rather. And because let me explain why I use the contractor term. There's a big debate about owner ops versus contractor versus lease operators. We're all contractors, so that just covers the umbrella, right? So
exactly.
that's why I focus on the contractor thing. But yes, we it is something we're working on. And Swift, how do I say this, Jeff? How do I say this? They're
Well,
not opposed to it.
they're not opposed to it. Um, the one of the big roadblocks the last time I did an elevator meeting with Brett about it was time. What I
Right.
would love to do is a 90-day course on how to become an owner operator, what you need to know, feed you all the numbers, and have you run numbers on that company truck so you understand what you're getting yourself into ahead of time. The time horizon that Swift looks at is from the time you contact a recruiter, they want you in a truck in like 14 days.
Yeah, I think they'd
So
want one
there's
day if I could get it.
well, yeah, but so their time horizon and our
Excuse
time
me.
horizon right now are not matching all that much. So there's some selling that we've got to do on our end to get them more on board with it. Initially, a year ago when we pitched it to Swift, Brett was really excited about it because obviously the more you know going into it, assuming that you do end up dipping your toe in the water and don't just go, well, that's too many numbers for me, I'm out. Which that's going to happen with a lot of people, obviously.
Right.
Your success is Swift success. So the more educated you come into it, and the more money you make, the more chances are that you'll be here for a while, right? They're Brett specifically is not interested in a guy leasing a truck and hanging up his spurs 6 months later. He
In
wants
case you don't know, Brett Stewart is who Jeff is referring to. He's the VP of the owner operator division.
right. So what he would love to have happen, and what we've seen happen recently, is these MRP leases, which make it easier for guys to actually own a truck. That's what he would like to see. And we're trying to guide him more into the education arena, which we can handle for them. It's just a matter of making sure that we're on the same page.
Right. Contractors Corner Consulting Group will be the filler for
Yep.
that gap. And that's what we're
And
working on now.
I mentioned the branding change we're doing briefly in a Facebook thread last week. And the whole reason for that branding change is so that Swift can promote our consulting side of the business. and
Yeah,
so that we can get this material to guys before they lease. There's some sort of legal issue with Swift has to be completely divorced from us if they're going to do business with us, if that makes sense.
right.
So yeah.
Sure, I think most people would understand that.
Yeah.
We
And
hope so.
and if you're interested, Donnie, we're going to be looking for coaches too. Just putting that out there, because
Yeah. So
we want ideas. We want to take you all the way from, maybe I want to be an owner operator. And we'll talk to you about that. And then once you are an owner operator, assign a coach to you, so that you have that contact and that guidance that we did not have 15 years ago when we started this business. And Charlie, how many trucks could we have bought by now if we knew now what we knew then?
oh my God, too damn many at this
We
point.
we
It hurts
we'd
my
be
feelings.
Charlie and I would be another DSW.
Yes. Yes.
So,
We'd be the second largest carrier for Swift right now, leased to them.
All right. So could you dive into the idea of being coached and coaching?
Yeah. So basically what we're doing, and right now what we're doing is in Contractors Corner, like in our Facebook group. If you're not a member of the Swift Contractors Corner Facebook group, which will be rebranded soon, I have to drop the Swift name, like we said. So it's going to be Contractors Corner Consulting or something like that. We haven't worked that out completely yet, but right now it is Swift Contractors Corner. It's a group on the Facebook. And if you're not a member of that group, by all means, please send in a request. Make sure you add in your driver code, because we do verify every single person that joins that group to make sure that they are current and active contractors with Swift. Once you're in that group, what we do there is we share a ton of information, and we're up somewhere around 200 members in that group. So there's a lot of opinions, a lot of experience, some good, some bad. Well, I shouldn't even say bad.
yeah.
There's differing opinions. Sometimes there's some stuff that we just call out and so we're like, that's just a horrible idea. But then we go into explain exactly why it's a bad idea. And look, the numbers are what we focus on. You can say, I have an idea. That's fine. But bring numbers with that idea, because we're going to dip in the numbers. And if the numbers make sense, then we can get behind that idea and we can work from there. And maybe someone learns something new. I mean, look, we want to learn new every day. We want to learn how to make things better. I mean, that's our whole kind of thing behind the group, is to help everyone do better, including ourselves, including you, including new guys, old guys. Doesn't matter.
So basically, that's what happens in that group. Is we have a lot of people there's people in there with 20 years experience being an owner operator. Charlie and I, we each have about 14 each.
Yeah.
So there's guys in there that have been in this game longer than we have. And so there is a lot of that being coached and coaching all at the same time going on in that group constantly. Just the main rules of the group are this: no corporate toadies.
Right.
That's why we ask for the driver codes, right? Because we don't want people from the office in there, because we need to be able to say stuff that may or may not go over too well sometimes.
The tempers get heated sometimes, feelings get hurt.
Yeah, and that was my second thing, is come with a thick skin, because boy, when we start in on the numbers, people do get their feelings hurt sometimes. It's natural.
But the numbers don't lie.
Nope.
The numbers are what they are. I mean, you can argue things all day long, but when the numbers say you're not making money, you're not making money.
Yep. So yeah.
In today's economy, you have to pay attention to your numbers.
Absolutely. The numbers are what make it all.
I'm learning that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and in that group, I say we're almost. Go ahead.
I was just going to throw one more question out if I had time, but please continue.
No, by all means, throw it out there. We got you.
Well, I mentioned to my DL here today and about a TikTok channel covering a variety of topics. I think she has the personality for it. So I tried to twist her arm on that the other day.
Good luck.
Yeah, she probably knocked me out. Would that be beneficial for owner operators? Would that be beneficial for trucking overall to have someone with her level of experience or your level of experience to say, hey, this is what we're looking at. It doesn't have to be daily videos, but if you could do 2 or 3 a week and say, hey, this is our hot freight zones. This is our fuel surcharges. This is what we believe in, etc. Because I follow a young lady on TikTok who is a broker, and she talks about a variety of topics, and it's very informative. So I guess to sum up that whole process is there an opportunity to start a TikTok channel that is beneficial for the owner operaters
There
per
is
se, Swift? Go
there
ahead.
is,
Yes.
but the problem is you got to remember that most of us are running a business on the back end. Our main business is our trucking companies, right? So to make
Sure.
time to do things like that and to do them in a manner that we try to do them here takes time, effort, and money, right?
Oh, of course.
So
Yes.
I mean, people don't really understand the amount of effort and money and resources that we throw into, Contractors Corner per se. And because of that, people think, oh, just put out more videos. Well, you can put out a ton of content, but if the content isn't good sound content and isn't timely and informative and actually instructing people, then you're just filling people's ears with crap. And we've got enough of that on Facebook, on TikTok, and other platforms. So I mean, by all means, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to someone doing something like that. For us, because Jeff and I and Rosie and all of us in the group do have trekking companies to run. We do this every week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. We do touch on a lot of subjects, and when we have the time, if you run through the YouTube channel, you'll find a lot of other instructional and informative type videos, and we're working on more of that content for you. And so, I mean, not to shoot you down, if you got aspirations, by all means, get out there, and as long as you're doing good, we won't call you out. But look, just understand, we will call you out. You throw out some wonky info, and we're gonna be like, hey man, that was crazy. I don't know what you're saying.
Charlie's better at that than I am.
I am.
assume
Yeah.
I'm
a lot.
ruthless sometimes. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just honest. Look,
I
I
mean,
hit my
right
head in the
now,
army, and I say what I think when I think it.
yeah, one of the things that we found is as we built this channel, is that right now the market's pretty saturated with guys doing pretty much what we do.
Right.
We follow a couple of them that have some good information, and some of them that are just funny to watch because
It's terrible.
you
Absolutely
just shake your
horrible
head. You're like,
information.
you know. But hey, that's what the ether is all about. Is basically having fun and getting
Right.
information out there. So
But Donnie, I want to thank you for calling in, buddy. I'm going to put you back down in the queue and allow you some time to switch back over to the YouTube channel if you want to catch us live there. And in the queue, you'll still be able to hear the show live. So I don't want to cut you off. But thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate your time, buddy.
Thank you, Charlie. Have a wonderful evening.
All right,
Bye-bye.
buddy. All right, Jeff, we got one more. Rick Jenkins. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat. Rick Jenkins wants to talk about miles per gallon versus speed. And this is also one of Sue's drivers, which I love. Sue's got some people just engaging, guys, and I'm digging this. So let's see if I click the right button and Rick is ready. Rick, are you there, buddy?
How you doing today?
I'm good, man. You got Jeff and Charlie here. We're sitting here waiting for you on bated breath. You like that? I like to use big words every
Jeff
now
and
and then.
Charlie. Jeff and Charlie. First off, I have to concur that Sue is the absolute best, and I know she's listening.
Love her.
Donnie, I know you wanted to twist her arm, but lots of luck with that.
For real. Look, I've been trying to get her on the show. She's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm all right.
Right? Yeah. Sue don't do what Sue don't want to do.
Right.
Plus she's got she's got 9,000 irons in a small little fire.
For
so
real.
she doesn't really have time, right? Anyway, she is the best.
No doubt.
All
I
right.
dig her.
So getting to the topic at hand. 3 weeks, maybe a month ago, someone had posted. I don't know if it was you. I think it was Jeffrey or
Right.
some another owner or another lease operator, whatever, another contractor.
Yep.
And they said that they had slowed down and saved like $169 or something in fuel that week, and over the course of 52 weeks, it had equated to like 9,000 and change that
Right.
was to be saved, right?
Correct.
And of course, that's money in your pocket. Well, now was that all right? Let me get clarification. Was that directed at all the contractors or specific, like dedicated?
Well, so the way that it works out, okay, if we look at the general umbrella of Swift Freight, most Swift Freight has set appointment times, pickup and deliveries, right? So you pick up Monday, you deliver Wednesday. And then they'll pre-plan you with something after that, right? Based on those delivery and pickup times. So if we look at the general envelope of Swift Freight, what we can say is that you will get this many miles in this much time based on each of these loads. And you have hard set times on pickup, delivery, and so on and so forth. With that load, the next load, the load after that. So to give you an example, okay, my last 2 runs OTR was coming from Portland to Laredo and then Laredo to Miami. So my Portland run was 2146 in dispatch miles. The Laredo to Miami run was 1479. From Portland to Laredo, I had a wide open, could deliver as soon as I got there. So, you know, if the load coming out of Laredo to Miami was another one of those, pick it up as soon as you get there and can deliver as soon as you get there, then there are sometimes very small, specific types of loads where driving a little faster can make you more money. But those examples are very few and very far between. So going with this load that I ran, or these 2 loads that I ran, Portland to Laredo, like I said, was 2146, had a open window on each end. I had to pick up on time, could deliver as soon as I got there. So I could have drove 70 miles an hour, right? And got 6.5 miles per gallon. And you know what? I actually got a graphic to put up on the screen, and I'm gonna throw it up on the screen. You can come back and see this after you hop off and check it out later on. All right. It will be on the video if you want to come back and look at it. So on the Portland to Laredo run, I did 55 miles an hour, and my average fuel mileage from Portland to Laredo was 8.03. That was a cost of $1,502.70. Had I done 70 miles an hour, I know for a fact my fuel mileage would have dropped to 6.5. I've run the load enough. I've run that route enough. I know my truck well enough that is what I would have got, possibly lower than 6.5, but I went with 6.5, gave myself benefit of the doubt. The fuel cost doing 70 miles an hour versus 55 was $1,856. Okay. So we're looking at a $354 difference in fuel costs, me doing 55 or 70. Then the Laredo to Miami run, like I said, picked up as soon as I got there, but it did not deliver until Monday afternoon or Monday morning. And I picked it up on Saturday or Sunday. So driving that one faster would have done me no good because even doing 55, we got to Miami at 2 a.m. ahead of our 8 a.m. scheduled appointment, which they didn't even open until 8 a.m. So being there any sooner than that did me no good as far as time-wise. It didn't hurt my weekly hours because I was going home afterwards. So that run cost me at 55, $1,038.30. Doing 70 would have cost me $1,279. So there's $140-ish. So those 2 trips combined, by me driving 55, I saved $594.92 versus doing 70, which would have done me no good to run those 2 loads at 70. Simply because
of your delivery time in Miami.
right. So I'm looking at the
Okay.
entire picture. Now, there are some cases where Jeff can chime in here perfectly on this, actually. Walmart in Opelika.
Yep.
So he gets a lower fuel cost there, and he can get 2 runs in on shorter miles, running faster than his normal 60 miles an hour, and actually nets more in the end because of that scenario, because he actually saves a bunch more on fuel.
Because of the fuel price at the DC is
Significantly lower.
usually significant lower than I can get it in the wild. So the game there, since I'm not so worried about fuel, is to get another load or 2 in for the week. And they're at, I do 2 loads a day for them with 3 drops each. So I've got the stop pay, and they're 250-mile loads. So I've got the higher mileage rate as well.
Right.
So when you look at the whole picture, when I'm running OTR, I certainly don't do that. I run 60 miles an hour everywhere I go, because Swift Freight does not require me to go any faster because of the pickup and delivery times. It's very rare, like maybe a FedEx load, but those loads are so light, who cares, right? I still get 8.5 miles a gallon on those because they weigh 10 pounds. So
right, exactly. You're all in the same boat fuel for the most part.
Yeah, you have to look at the whole picture. All of that.
And for me overall, I'm just going based off of my experience and how I drive and the loads that I get and so on and so forth. All right. Typically, not all the time, but typically, I have a window of pickup and or delivery.
Right.
All right. Usually drop and hook. Okay. And it's pick it up as soon as you can, get it there as quick as you can. Okay. Because of the window, right?
Gotcha.
Now, and that's pretty, I'd say that's 93% of what I get.
Just so you know, I have your weekly miles up on the screen right now, just so we can go back in and actually break down the numbers for you.
Okay. What are my actual miles for the week?
Well, so what I got is I have your last what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks worth of miles, starting 314 to 55.
Okay. Now, let me just throw an asterisk in there real quick.
No, yeah, go for it.
If there are any weeks that are below 2,500 miles, it's because I had time off.
Right. No, and I get that.
All right.
And we can factor all that in. It's actually really easy to do.
Okay. All right. So I guess I'm just requiring a bit of knowledge because my math doesn't add up to your math.
No, absolutely.
So if I am, for me, my goal is to get that load. All right. So I go by miles per hour, right?
Okay.
If you're doing, say, 65 miles an hour.
Right.
All right. And I'm doing 70.
Yep.
That's 5 miles an hour difference. All right. You and I have the same exact load going to the same exact place. Everything's identical.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to get there. Say it's 650 miles. I'm going to get there almost an hour before you.
Right.
Okay. Which allows me to get that extra load.
Not necessarily, though.
And to continue on. Okay.
Not always.
How?
Well,
all right. Well, everything has to be perfect. Of course, there's always a variable.
Right.
There are so many variables in this industry. But all things the same. If you're doing 65, I'm doing 70. I'm going to run more miles in a week than you, versus and make more money.
Okay, let's take your last week. Okay, your last week that I have is 3,008 miles, averaging 70 miles an hour. That's 42.97 hours. Averaging 60 miles an hour, it's 50.13 hours. So that's a difference of we'll call it 8 hours, maybe 7 hours. I can't do the math in my head right now. It's not working. The fuel cost on that, right? Doing 70 is $2,382.25. The fuel cost doing 60 is $2,088.15. That's a difference of $294.11. Okay, just on that week. So
Okay, now with that, I've got the actual numbers of what I spent in fuel and what I made last week for
okay,
fuel. All right, I actually spent 1807 in fuel, and I made 1912
right,
off the fuel surcharge.
and that would have been increased by $294.11 by driving 10 miles an hour slower, on average. Your fuel savings,
But I wouldn't have gotten the amount of miles.
well,
So
when I
I
look at the
do
hours, though,
so I do 3,000 miles a week, and I do 60 miles an hour though.
You're doing 3,000 miles a week.
At 60 miles
You're
an hour.
running 68 miles an hour.
doing
So
60,
you're running recaps.
60.
Nope, I'm not running recaps. I run my 70
Right.
out every single week, and I take Tuesday out so I can do the show.
See, one of the things that a lot of people don't also factor into all of this, Rick, is you drive faster, you use more fuel, you fuel more frequently. That takes more
Sure.
time out of your day, right? So we're talking about a weekly difference of, what is it, 40? It's actually about 7 hours difference total, right? So you're fueling more frequently. And so you calculate the time. See, we've had this discussion and arguments going for years, okay? And many people have
Yeah.
argued your side of it, saying, well, if I average 70 miles an hour, I get this many miles. The problem with that thought process is it doesn't calculate in the amount of time that you lose for fueling, the amount of time you actually lose in extra maintenance, because it increases tire wear, it increases engine wear, which increases your maintenance costs and time. So time does
Yeah, but
equate to
that's
money.
cost of doing business.
But
That,
if you
that
can,
is cost of doing
but
business.
if you can
though.
lower your cost of doing business, you make more money in the bottom and the back end.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And I agree with that. I do agree with that. Okay. I just don't see how Jeff is running 3,000 miles at 60 miles an hour a week.
Well, the math is on the screen. You'll be able to come back and look at it. Like I said, the
Okay.
averaging 60 miles an hour for 3,008 miles is 50 hours, 50.13 drive
Of
hours.
drive time. Mm-hmm.
Whereas driving an average of 70 is 42.97. Now, of course, these are perfect world. You're actually doing 70 and you're actually doing 60, and these are your averages because we have stop and go slowdowns and all this other things that pop in and come into play. The problem is we can't compare
Exactly.
your weekly run versus my weekly run, because I run in some pretty light traffic areas, don't hit a whole lot of traffic. Other guys are running in through LA where they spend half the day in traffic. So, but you're also not doing 70 miles an hour in stop and go traffic. So you can't say that you're doing 70 there.
No, of course not.
We're talking about average cruise speed set limits. So that's what we're talking about. So you're only losing 7 hours of drive time doing 60 miles an hour instead of 70, but you're increasing your bottom line by almost $300. So I mean, what's the math on that? I mean, in fact, I'm going to pull it up just because
No, I understand.
I can't
It's
help
about
myself.
15,000 a year.
And in
It's
just that week,
15,600
what I say the number
for a year.
I hit it. I can't help myself. 294.
Well, 300 times 52 is 15.6.
Divided by 7 hours. So yeah, it's $42 an hour. I mean, it's just not that. I mean, I'm going to save that much more.
Okay. Now here's my argument about that.
Okay.
Okay. Now if I'm getting that extra run, okay, if we're doing the same except you're doing 60 versus I'm doing 70, I'm going to have, and you run 6 days, that's an extra, let's say we're just doing 10 hours a day. All right. Driving our truck 10 hours a day.
Sure.
All right. So that's an extra 60 miles a day or 70 miles a day that I'm going to do more than you. Over 6 days, that's 420 miles. Okay. yes, you've saved time and you save money on your fuel, but you've lost out on the potential of basically an additional run or an additional load. And say we just got paid $1 per mile, then $420 extra a week equates to over $20,000 a year. So you're losing out on a potential of, well, you know, $9,000 or $11,000 from the $9,000 that whomever made that post saved. You know, you follow me?
Yeah, I do. But the problem is that you're operating under the assumption that every load for that week has a wide open window pickup and delivery. And that is not the general freight base that Swift has. The majority of Swift
No,
freight,
not at all. That also has to do with clock management as well.
right? But here's the problem with that is that because of the majority of Swift freight being what it is with the set delivery times and pickup times, you can't count on that extra load. You can't say that because I drove 70 this week, I'm going to get an extra load because of those appointment times. And that's where one of the flaws comes into that formulation, is that you can't count on that, and that is not the norm. That is just not how Swift Freight works. I mean, yes, that will work on, other carriers types of systems, or if you have the ability to negotiate those pickup and delivery times, and by all means, if you can run 70 miles an hour and actually get an extra load in, um, the math has been done. You can find the numbers out there. Um, a lot of times what will happen is when you average out the cost of that extra run versus the fuel savings you could have saved, they either come very close to breaking even in the end, or a lot of times what you'll see is a loss by running faster because of the increased maintenance, because of the increased tire wear over time. Um, all of these factors, and the problem is that people look at just the fact that I can run this many miles at 70 miles an hour versus this many miles at 60 miles an hour, but that's not the whole equation, and that is the problem, and that's where the flaw comes in. Because if you're going to compare apples to apples, we got to compare the entire cart, not just that one bushel.
No,
And that's
completely agree and understand.
where I talked to guys, that have their own authority, they're running that or whatever, and they'll factor that extra fuel cost into their bid for a load. They absolutely understand this concept. If they have a customer that says, no,
Right.
I wanted to get there at this time, and he says, well, I got to drive 75, so that adds $500 to the price. And they know those numbers just click, click,
No.
click off their head. They're freaking brilliant guys that do something that would drive me nuts.
Right.
And while you may make more gross revenue, you won't always make more net revenue, because the net, I don't care about your gross. I care about your net. This week, I averaged
certainly
I believe it was 206 a mile, something like that. I threw the numbers at Jeff earlier. I can't remember what they were. It was somewhere a little over $2 a mile is what I grossed. But my net, doing my math versus Jeff math, we use Jeff math because it won't hurt his head so much. So I believe my net was somewhere in the 106 range or something like that.
Ooh, you're close. 1.068.
There you go. So my net was $1.068 per mile, right? Or excuse me, $1.06 per mile, almost $1.07. But running 70, I can assure you that my gross would have remained the same, but my net would have been so much worse than that. I would have been somewhere down in the 80 some odd, 90 some odd cent range net. And because I only work 3 or 4 days a week, that would, over the course of my year, really dip into that net profit at the end of the year.
Okay. And I can appreciate that. All right. And I understand exactly what you're saying. But you said something about the way Swift Freight is.
Right.
Okay. Now, my thought is, as business owners, isn't it up to us to make certain that we get the loads that we need to continue to run and make the money that we enjoy making? I mean, for those who
Well, let me address that specifically real quick. Within Swift system,
Okay.
right now, the way Swift system works, how are you going to do that?
Right.
I mean, I have
Well, I
really
mean,
great
typically,
relationships with planners all over the country, and I pretty much
Right.
get what I want, but not always. I still have to play the
Mhm.
game. And it's just the way Swift
Well,
Freight is, the way they sell their freight, that you have to work within that model.
and I understand that, okay, because I typically get what I want as well, because I have those relationships as well with the planners, all right? And if all else fails, I can call the OO planners, all right, either Coretta or Omar or Jerry
Right.
even.
Mhm.
Typically, I don't go out west because I'm on an ERF, right?
There you go.
So, but I've never had a problem. If I make a misstep, it's my own fault because I didn't pay attention. Like I was telling Soon today, that I messed myself up coming out for home time because I accepted a load and I picked it up yesterday or Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon in Jessup, got it all the way up to Bristol, Indiana, Sunday night. But I didn't pay attention to the delivery time.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
It didn't deliver until Tuesday.
Oh, that's
until this morning. You
that
know,
hurts my heart.
and that was my own fault, right? That was my own fault. But it was also, it actually benefited me because I've been trying to get back to Ocala to get my B service done, but I just went to a Speedco and had it done there. You know, so although I had a day off, it was okay. You know, I got things taken care of.
And
You know, but I mean, and that's like I said, that's my fault.
Well, I understand your argument. I truly do. I understand what you're saying, and those numbers at face value mean exactly what you say they mean. The problem is that you would be very hard pressed. And if you are in fact doing this, then bravo to you, sir. I will say that gladly, because you are not the norm. You are not working within the normal Swift confines. Yes, we're business owners. Yes, we are contractors, but we, like Jeff was saying, we have to work within the Swift system. And
Certainly.
if you've got it worked out to where you know which customers are what, and you can drop and hook all day long, by all means do it. Absolutely. I just don't think that the majority of people can do that in a system that's set up like Swift system is, because they have the majority of their customers have set delivery dates and pickup times and things like that.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I still have a hard time agreeing with the whole concept, though.
Well, let me ask you this.
Because I feel like if
let me ask you this
like
real
Sue
quick.
and I, all right, now, okay.
Have you ever tried it? Have you ever actually tried it?
I have not, because I have a hard time going slow.
Okay,
right?
so that brings me to
And-
something I told Charlie I was going to bring up. If you just want to drive fast,
Right?
it's your truck. Drive fast.
Right.
No,
That's no skin off of anybody's
no,
back.
that's not it.
But I guarantee you, and I
Right.
promise you, because the numbers have been done, not just by us. You know, if you've been around long enough to remember before when Kevin Rutherford got fired from XM, know, I'm actually friends with him, so I can say that. So he beat this drum for the last 12 years that he was on XM radio. That's how I learned to slow down, was listening to him. And once I tried it and once I did it, I did not go back. Once I saw the proof in the pudding, those numbers coming back through my profit and loss statement, I was like, there's no way that I would ever speed back up. I go faster than Charlie, though.
He does.
Because I want to.
Right.
Charlie could give me crap for it all he wants. I want to drive 60, dang it.
and I'm good with that. Don't get me wrong. Look, I used to run 70 everywhere I went. And then I just got back to the numbers as the fuel prices started going up.
That's the thing, man. And we one of our good friends, TK, he's one of those guys. He will just always drive fast. He loves driving fast. And okay. TK does what TK wants.
Well,
we all do. But we did get into the point at one point where we got him to slow down, and he did see the numbers, and he still decided to drive fast.
Right.
So that's
Well,
that's up to
Sue
you.
has certainly. Now, Sue and I have gone over the numbers as far as running recaps and so on and so forth. All right. For me,
Recaps.
my mindset is I can't run recaps because if I shut down after 9 hours of driving, I leave money on the table. I feel like.
Well, here's the way I look at that one, man. Because my driver leader and I, Charlie has the same driver leader, so he can tell you that she's one of those people also that when she has an opinion, good luck.
Exactly.
We've been arguing about this for 15 years, the recap thing. And I just like my day off. That's for me, I like my day off every week. I paint my little geeky Army model dudes on my day off, and I do my thing. But the thing is, 70 hours is 70 hours is 70 hours. I don't care how you spend it. You still can only work 70 hours a week.
Exactly.
Now, there's that argument that you pick up 8 hours. I don't care. I mean, like this whole discussion, whether you decide to slow down or not, whether you decide to do the experiment, you're not going to go broke. Not the way you're running your business. You're running a solid business. It's just you have a potential to earn more in the Swift system if you did. Because I'm telling you, I can do 3,000 miles a week doing 60 miles an hour. So if you look back through your last year and you find out that your average is below 3,000 miles over the course of that year, make that your standard and do 60. And in those weeks where you can get like 3,500 miles, pump it up and get those 3,500 miles. That's the way I would run it. That's the way I do run it. If I get that dream stack, that's 3,000 miles in 6 days, but you've got to run. In my case, my truck's still governed at the old mentor rate of 68 because I just never changed it. If that means I've got to pump it up past where I normally do, I do that. If the numbers make sense, but I live and die by those numbers. So, I mean, you're not going to go broke.
Certainly, because numbers don't lie.
Right.
We're not saying that a guy.
No,
the way you're running, you're making money. That you're not going to go broke doing that. Some of these guys
I make great money doing what I do.
Of what we normally tell people is that when we're trying to help someone that's not making money, that's one of the first things we ask is how fast you're going. Right.
And about 9 times out of 10, that's an easy fix. They will make more money slowing down.
Yep. And learning how to buy fuel. That's the other one.
Right.
Unfortunately, a lot of people buy into I know that if certain people are listening, I'm going to get yelled at later, but people buy into the Swift fuel route too much. And that's not the best place to buy fuel, even if you're using COM data.
Right.
So.
No, indeed. No, indeed.
But Rick,
I agree with that.
I would. This is what I'm going to throw at you. Okay. I want you to go out and I want you to run the next week or two, doing it your way. Okay. Yeah. Do 2 weeks, and then try 2 weeks doing it our way, and tell me what you see.
Sue got back. You, didn't she? Sue got you, didn't she?
No, I love Sue, but Sue and I actually agree, and Jeff and I and a lot of people actually agree on this. So by all means, just try it, but give it an honest try. Don't half-ass this. Like go in and I mean do the hard work. It is hard work. Slowing down from 70 to 55, I'm telling you, was not enjoyable for me at all. It sucked. It drove me batshit crazy, and I don't know any other way to say it. It drove me nuts. And look, I'm going to throw another face up here. You can come back and see that. This one right here, it drove Rosie nuts as well. And she still struggles with it to this day. I'm like, babe, do 55. She's like, how about 58? Yeah, see? So and it's hard to do, man. Like seriously, but go and do it legitimately and give it a real shot. Like seriously, try and do what it is that we're saying, so that when you come back with numbers, let's talk real numbers, so that we can have a real discussion about those actual numbers. Theoretical numbers, they're simply that. They are theoretical until proven, right? Or disproven.
Certainly.
So, you know, I feel that we have gone through enough of the disproving on this argument over the 15, 14 years that Jeff and I have been doing this. So while I welcome the debate, I love it. But the numbers that I've seen over the years versus the numbers you're theorizing don't add up. And I'm not saying that to be a jerk or anything like that, or you know what I mean. But
Oh, you hurt my feelings.
right. You know what I mean. But
Those
no,
kids not thick enough.
right. You know, but it's like a real thing, man. I mean, if go into it and actually try to do this the way that we're talking about, and then come back and let's touch on this again. Like seriously, bring hard data, man. But
And I
those
will do
numbers are awesome.
Yeah, and I'll tell
I
you,
will
I'll
do
put
that.
my
Okay.
thing in there too. You know, I slowed down years ago to 60, but even from 60 to 55 when I go to California, drives me nuts. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is a tough thing to do. And so, like with our buddy TK, what we had him do was just slow down 1 mile an hour per week. Just set your cruise control. You're doing 70, set it for 69 this week. Then next week, set it to 68. And before you know it, 10 weeks later, you're at 60. And that works for a lot of people. Not everybody. Some people like I tell people all the time. I had enough speeding tickets when I applied at Swift that I almost didn't get the job.
Right.
So I get it. The only reason why I stopped speeding in my car is because now I have a CDL and I don't want to jeopardize my job. So
Right.
No, I understand. I understand. My whole thing is it's not even about the slowing down portion of it. All right. I feel like I'm leaving money on the table.
I think when you run the test, you're going to see that you're putting more money in your pocket, not just on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't worry about the table.
Right.
Worry about the pocket.
That's right.
Well, definitely.
And I believe there's a true difference between the two. Bless you.
I will definitely do that. And yes, Sue, I will definitely do that.
She's listening.
I know she's listening because she's been in my ear. Just slow down.
Yeah, she's one of our biggest
Love her to
fans.
death,
She's one of our biggest fans. I fully expect to break down somewhere in Maine sometime in the wintertime and have her come rescue me and hobble my legs or something.
Yes. But here's the thing about Sue. Let's be real. She ran a small fleet. She's done what we're doing.
Exactly.
She's done this already.
Exactly.
And you know, Jeff and I don't know how long you've been doing this, Rick. I should ask, how long you been doing this?
I've been driving 5 years.
How long you been a contractor?
Okay. Contractor, July 16th will be 1 year.
Okay. So don't take this wrong, but you are new. And while I understand, like I said, the theory, take some advice from some folks that have been tried this and lost the money doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you're one of those people like me that has to see the hard numbers and see, you know, and bash your face into a wall every now and then to go, oh crap, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. So
Right.
yeah,
well,
give it a shot, man. And
you know, I'll just point out how big so Charlie and I, we were still making the stupid fuel mistake up until January.
Right.
You know, we had that mental block of, oh well, NASDAQ wants $300 from us if we want to use their card, and it's not everywhere, and this, that, and then some jackass named Matt brought us numbers.
That guy,
yeah, and then you know, we were hit in the face with those numbers, especially after we tried it,
and we got a fuel card in less than a week.
Mm-hmm. And then once we tried it, then once we actually got on that program, and we were like, holy crap, we're idiots.
Right. Because the money we left out of our pocket and on the table was huge.
I agree because I've got the ES Advantage card as well, and I can't believe that I didn't know about this sooner, or
right,
didn't research it or whatever, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm saving a minimum. I think the least I've saved is like $61 when I've
Right.
used it.
Yeah, I mean, we're
You
talking
know, and I've
about
saved well over 100 multiple times.
we're talking about over the last, say, 10 years, that beautiful Peterbilt that everybody
Oh
dreams of.
gosh.
We could have afforded to stroke a check for one by now if we had
Right.
been smarter. So
Or in my case, 3 more 2007 Freightliner Centuries. Just saying.
yeah, well, if you can find
know.
them.
Right.
That what there
Well,
was a question that
all
came
right,
up
gentlemen.
too that when we were going over the numbers, Charlie, that 6.5 sounded low for your 70 miles an hour because this dude gets 7.1,
Right.
and it is because Charlie's in an older truck.
Correct.
He doesn't have all the fancy whiz bangs that we have. Even in my 2016 Freightliner,
Right.
you know, is more efficient than his truck, so that's
Absolutely.
why. But he also has less maintenance costs than I do because he doesn't have all that emissions crap. So it balances out.
Oh,
And no
okay.
DEF cost, and yeah, I mean all those things
Yeah.
add up. So, but Rick, I want to
Well,
thank you,
certainly.
man. I appreciate
Certainly.
you calling in and actually, letting Sue show me the numbers, and you'll see those numbers up on the screen, so you'll be able to look at those and see what I'm talking about on the savings. That the numbers overall for you, running my numbers versus your numbers, was about $1,659.82 that you could have saved just in fuel costs alone for that last 8 weeks.
Right. And I just want to put in one more thing. If you decided to go down this road, that you should know, my 3,000 mile weeks, when I get to the end of that week, is really uncomfortable. You start seeing those hours dwindle, and you're down there around 2-3 hours left,
Right.
and it does get like, gosh,
Right.
I've got no time. But then it ends up being okay. I find a place to park, do my 34, and I'm good. But
Right.
it especially when I first started doing this, it was like, gosh, do I even have enough time? I don't know. If there's traffic, I'm screwed, right? So it is
Right.
you have to work it just right. You do. So keep that in mind when you try this out. You can still get your 3,000 miles, but it's going to be a little hairy there towards the end of the week that you're probably not used to, because the numbers that Sue showed us, you've got a little bit of a cushion at the end of the week that I don't have.
Right.
I mean, I use
Well, because
every little bit of it that I can, to
right.
accomplish that.
Well, yeah, I'm usually running my clock every day, and I'm usually out of time within 5.5, 6 days at most.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have maybe 4 or 5 hours left over, but nobody will give me a load for that. So
Right.
Right.
so
Right.
it's like, all right,
Opelika will.
34,
Opelika.
wherever you're at, whatever.
Opelika, you can make those 3 stores in 5 hours, no problem.
Absolutely. Yep.
Walmart.
Are they running
Life
surge?
at Walmart. No, they just kicked all their owner operators out. So
Okay.
I was going
All
to
right,
try
Rick.
and head over there, but no dice.
We appreciate you,
Well,
buddy.
I appreciate the conversation. Hope to see you guys at the terminal sooner or later.
Absolutely. Be safe, man, and thanks for calling in. But try it out for real and give it a real
right.
shot.
I will do that. I will actually, make a set date to start
Nice.
and a set date to slow down.
Nice. It's
Yep.
hard.
And
It's hard, man. Just do it.
It'll be hard, but anything worth doing is hard, right?
Exactly.
Nope.
More money.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, you figure that's a little over $1,000 for 8 weeks, right? Divide that by 52, you're looking at like
Big numbers.
what? Almost 7,000 over the
Now
course of a year.
I will point something else out too, Charlie. This has everything to do, by the way, with how high fuel cost is right now.
Right.
Remember 2 years ago when you could get fuel in a lot of states for under $2,
Absolutely.
and we were starting to think about speeding back up to 70 again because fuel was just not costing us anything.
Right.
So
cost made sense.
Yep. So you got to consider.
Right, but there again, you weren't getting paid as much either.
Right.
Yeah, but it still worked. It still almost penciled out. It almost penciled out. It didn't, but it almost penciled out. And that's the point I want to make is keep running the numbers all the time. Analyzing
well, the numbers that I ran, yes,
and,
definitely.
And do what's right for your business at that time because it changes.
Certainly. It definitely does. And like last week, I mean, I started running the numbers and I ran the numbers and I couldn't believe that I actually got paid to buy fuel.
Yep.
You know, I mean, and that was even on Com Data. That wasn't even on my ES Advantage card. That was on my Com Data card. You know, and I made $105
Yeah.
from buying fuel
Weird,
with
isn't it?
fuel surcharge. So, I mean, a fuel surcharge is a blessing.
Charlie's off blowing his nose right now. I thought I'd tell people that because he told me this would happen. He's got a bit of a sinus thing going on. Poor guy.
No worries.
I always feel sorry for Charlie when he gets sick.
I'm dying, man. I'm dying. Oh my God.
Oh.
All
Okay,
right.
gentlemen,
Sorry.
I appreciate your time. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you down the road.
All right,
All
man.
right, buddy. Be safe. I'm gonna throw you back in the queue so you can still hear the show until you make the transition back to YouTube, buddy. Thanks, Rick, for calling in.
All right, y'all take care.
I think Sue
Matt-
just says she's coming for me.
Yeah, I like it. I feel a little jealous. Sue, I'm just over here in Crystal River. Wait, something just went weird. Never mind. I'm just gonna back out of this. Oh God, excuse me. Hey, look, just for fun. Hey, Matt, what's going on, buddy?
Oh,
Hi.
I did it to you, Jeff.
Well,
You're welcome.
I transitioned from Rosie to some jackass named Matt. So that was a little like, oh,
There you go.
okay.
You're welcome.
but it was
You're
in a
talking
good
about
way
fuel
because
card. Like,
It was with love.
it was in the context of you hitting us in the face broadside with a bunch of numbers, making us get into this fuel card thing.
You know what I just realized? Check this out. Look at my background.
yeah.
Look at my background. There's something missing.
There is.
There
I never
is.
paid attention to your background before, other than the airborne thing.
It's broken. There we go. It's lit up. There we go.
Hey.
Now I feel better.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. I just realized my fancy blue lights weren't lit up. I didn't even know what's going on, man. Good Lord. Oh, Matt, give us your 2 cents
So,
on slowing down.
I wanted. All right. So after we had that conversation last week where I was an idiot doing numbers, I slowed down to 62.
Well, there you go.
So that's from my normal 67 that cruise control's always set at. Only time I speed up is to pass somebody if I run into that rare person now who's going slower than me. And my truck went from the 6.8 to the 7.2 I was averaging to 10.
See, that's crazy huge numbers.
Right. I did stop idling as
In the
well,
right
though,
direction.
at night.
Right.
There's no need to right now.
Right. And that was
So
the other
it's-
thing you and
it's
I
50
talked about
degrees
was
at
your
night.
idling dropped.
Yeah.
Plus the slowing
Yeah,
down.
that optimized idle on these trucks is stupid. So it's, I don't know. I'm gonna figure out something. I'm gonna probably get buy an APU before it gets hot out. But I'll hot up in the Northeast anyways.
Right.
But yeah, so just slowing down to that 62 and just cutting down that idle time, buying a fan for in the truck and opening up the top windows to suck that air in.
Right.
It's
Mhm.
yesterday I filled. It says the Let Truck app said I got 10.11 miles to the gallon for 312 miles.
Nice.
So
So Dennis,
Yeah, and
Lewis
you're
said he's
driving-
gonna try that.
we need to
test too,
point
by the
out,
way.
Matt, that you're driving one of those new Volvos with that fancy new engine in it, right?
Right.
yeah, yep. That the new Volvo. It's I had to do fuel filters twice on it though.
That's
So I just
weird.
did the fuel filters for a second time. Yeah,
There's something
Um,
wonky going on there.
it's filling up quick, and then I've also gone
Well-
and drained it.
Well, wait. Filling up is not necessarily a sign of the fuel filter needing to be changed. I know that they say, hey, when it gets to the
I'm-
top of the bowl, change it. But mine will fill up and drain all throughout the day at different times. I don't
Yeah,
know
mine
why,
does
but
too.
it does.
Mine does too.
Okay. I don't know. The filters are $20. I'm still trying to get that new truck grime out of the truck.
Right. No,
So
hey, by all
there's
means.
still debris coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I'm draining that filter, there's still like grime and debris coming out of it. So I'm just like, okay, well, I'll just change it again. And there's a good chunk of water coming out too. It's definitely doing its job catching the water. The new Volvos also only have one fuel filter. They don't have multiple fuel filters like the last generation had, and like the Kenworth, the Freightliners, stuff like that have. It has just the one.
Just the Dabco.
So, yep, just the Dabco.
Cool.
So
That's
I'm
all
not
mine
sure how that's going to affect the truck.
That's all mine
Is it?
has. Yeah,
You don't have the wire mesh one up on top.
I only have the Dabco.
Okay.
So
I'm that's another reason why I'm changing it, because I'm a little bit paranoid because, well, we got the one filter.
watch your fuel mileage. I'm telling you, because of my Dabco, I can see when it's time to change my fuel filter. My fuel mileage will start dropping slowly, and that's the beauty of Let's Truck, because we can see it tank to tank, tank to tank, tank to tank. And so hey, Dennis Lewis said that hey Rick, you and I can both do that as soon as I get my truck back. So Dennis Lewis says he's going to try the test about driving 70 versus 60, and we'll get some hard data hopefully in the next month or so. That would be awesome. I want to see what else I missed. There's a lot going on. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to ignore you. There was just a ton of conversation happening. So yeah, we were just working through it. If I missed anything you want me to touch on, throw it back up for me, will you?
Well, that's another thing too, though, is that people can cut their idling out, like just going by a fan, especially when it's cooler at night.
Oh, the idle's huge.
If you're running days, right, that's going to save people right there. It's going to save wear and tear on the motor, oil changes, fuel filters, things like that. And it's going to save money over the long run. It's also going to save money on that idling cost on that fuel. So I did the math, and I was spending, I think the math came out to like, my girlfriend actually did it for me when we were talking to me while driving.
She knows how to push buttons better.
Yep, she does. It came out to $42 a day I was spending idling.
Yeah, that's crazy. Add that up over the course of a year.
How much?
That's 42.
$42 a day. You have to remember, I don't run the normal clock. I'm sitting there, I'm idling for 15 hours. Where like the next person is, I try not to. If I'm running longer than 8 hours a day, I'm working too hard. So today it's going to be a 6-hour day, and that's it.
Yeah,
you got the beauty of that wonderful Northeast percentage rate. You bastard.
I know.
We still love you. Don't get me wrong,
but like that. But that right there, that made a big difference with the idling, because I was just using much more fuel than the average person who's just sitting there doing a 10-hour recess. So now I shut my truck off 6 o'clock at night when I shut down normally, and I just leave the truck off all night long. Now I did wake up to 81 degrees inside the truck today because I slept till 11 o'clock.
Right.
That sucked. So, but yeah, just that idling and that speeding, it does slow down. And trust me, this is killing me. It's killing me right now. I'm going to take it out on my motorcycle when I go home.
Just don't break it again. It costs you too much money to fix.
Right? Oh my God.
It has a new clutch in it now. It has a clutch built for 200 torque. So I should be good.
Whatever he said. I don't even know what he's talking about. We've gone on to motorcycles. Matt, thanks for calling in, brother. I'm going to throw you back out too. I appreciate you
problem.
though.
Okay.
And I'm going to put you in the queue so you can make that transition as well. And yeah, there's something else.
Turn your reverb down a little bit.
Hey, I don't have it. You calm down.
There's a slight echo.
Well, I don't know why. Maybe I'm just talking too loud.
It could be my headset.
I just figured you hit a button on the soundboard.
Sometimes it's Rosie's headset coming through the microphone. Her mic's a little touchy, but it's okay. Don't worry about it, babe. You're good. Matt, thanks, brother. I'll talk to you later on, man.
So I noticed that Sue chimed in and says she'll track those numbers.
Yes. So that's great, because that will be, hard data from their end, hard data from the drivers. or the contractors rather, and that's the kind of data we need. I mean, let's be real about this.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
any of you guys, I saw at least one other person that said they're going to try it. I saw a guy, James Vaughn, on there says he tried 55, his major fuel savings. Anytime you guys try any of this stuff, let us know what your results are.
yeah, throw
You
up
know,
the numbers.
hard data, real numbers,
Excuse me.
because the more numbers we have to either prove or disprove something we're saying, doesn't matter.
I
Just
feel your
we need
pain
the
here,
numbers.
Roland. I drive fast and no local driver beats me to the Swift empty. Yes. Look, Jeff, was it Jeff? Was it
Yep.
you the other day? You beat
Oh
the day
yeah.
cab guy?
Those of you guys that are in the Contractors Corner Facebook group saw my post on that.
He was all happy about it.
I was happy all day. It was
And I
we
heard
both
Jeff
he came
yell the
in
word
right.
"suck it,"
I did not.
something like
Anyway,
that.
so yeah, we were. I was at the gate right before him, and I got my trailer unhooked before he did, and I literally saw him do one of those things.
Right?
When he saw me hook into that trailer, and I'm like, hey,
Feel like you did something right there.
you know, and there's this kind of friendly competition between day cabbers and OTR guys at Swift. In case you guys haven't been around long enough to figure that out. So to date, my score is about 200 of them went to the day cabbers, and now I've got a score of 1.
Yes, and that is a big one.
So that's a big victory.
James Vaughn said, "Hi, Rosie."
Hi.
So yeah, you know, there was something else I wanted to talk about this week, and I know we're getting long here, but just bear with me here. So there was some internal debate about some tire wear, and so you know what? It's getting warm. The world is getting hot out there. Tire wear, guys. Pay attention to your tires, seriously, because things like what you're about to see, that right there, that is long-term wear. I was told that the inside of the tire does not have this wear pattern, and what you see here is steel belts coming through the rubber. This does not happen overnight. The fastest that we know of something like this happening on a new set of tires, Jeff can throw it out there. I think it was like
It's
10
a week,
days.
about a week or 10 days. Yeah. And
So
that was due
again,
to bad alignment.
right, a horrible alignment. This does not happen overnight. So what this is a toe in or out issue. It wore through that outside shoulder. It wore down that outside tread rib faster than the rest of the tire, and that's from the tire being. I'm gonna pop out of this for just 1 second. The tire, instead of being straight, is pushed in one way or the other. On this case, it's probably pushed in towards the center of the truck, pushing on that outside tire, on the outside of that tire, causing that kind of wear. And a leading cause of alignment issues like that, you'll see this black mark around the oh wait, I forgot to put it back up there. I apologize. You'll see this black mark around the outside of this tire here, and that kind of indicates a curb strike or rubbing against something that can absolutely push that tire alignment if you do it hard enough and cause this very thing. So let's be real. This is alignment. By all means, it never should have gotten to this point because that is just not safe. And if you're letting it go that far, there's problems, guys. So don't do this. Check your tire pressures. Bundle your tires. I know it sounds weird, but I'm telling you, I am a tire molester. I rub in across
Dude,
the face
I
of the
almost had
tire.
I almost had to call the cops on Charlie. He was molesting my truck so bad.
Look, if any of you ever meet me in person and we're standing near your truck, you can absolutely bet 100% that I will walk over and I will molest your tires. I will rub across the face. I will rub around the tread. I will feel the sidewalls. I do all this weird stuff because it tells you what's going on with the truck and the alignment. It can tell you if shocks are bad. It can tell you if you got a bad balance, misalignment, things like that. The tires tell you, and most of it is feel. If you feel it before you can see it, you can get it handled much quicker and save those tires from having to
And
do it in a week.
And one of these days, Charlie, we're going to have to get some sponsorships because I'm going to mention MD alignment here.
For real. Look,
If
Alan
you take
says
your
he
truck
does
to
it.
an MD alignment shop, you can find them MD alignment. Just Google them, MD alignment. They will. They want you to bring your tires in terrible, because that's what they will do. They will look at your tire wear as part of their diagnostic process.
Yep.
So if you know your alignment's bad and your tires are still safe to run down the road, take it to one of those shops, have them analyze the tires, have them do their thing, and then go get new tires.
Right.
So
Eric asked a question. What was it? I'm sorry. Does the fuel that goes in the APU hurt your price for fuel? We're going to say fuel during the week, meaning is the APU good to have? If it makes sense and the numbers work out for your operation, they do pretty well. We have someone in the group who just got a APU recently, and the numbers so far that he's running have shown a significant increase in his bottom line, because the amount of fuel the APU uses versus what your diesel engine uses is pretty significant. So for someone like Rosie and I and most teams, I don't believe the numbers pencil out for an APU. So there you go. James Bond said, I'm cheap, but damn, steer tires are deadly. Buy new tires. Exactly. You shouldn't let it get to that point. So if you have tires that look like that, there's problems.
Hey, Charlie, we got someone that wants to say hi.
Oh, please say hi.
Come here. Say hi.
Hey, buddy. What's going on?
That's my 9-year-old.
Hi, 9-year-old.
Peter.
He's been hanging out. Hear me, but I'm just going to throw it out
He's
there.
been hanging out just outside of camera view for the last 10 minutes.
Nice. He's like, I want to pop in. I want to pop in. It's like my granddaughter 2 weeks ago. Now she's like, hi. You guys, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Well, Peter, it's good to see you on the show, buddy. And you have to play this back for him later on, Jeff, so he can actually hear this. Peter, your dad is awesome. Yay. You may not believe it, but he is awesome. There you go. See, Jeff, I got you back, brother.
All right, man.
But guys, if you got anything, throw it up. Otherwise, we're coming up on an hour and a half here, and we're going to wrap this thing. Rosie, do you have anything you'd like to chime in? You've been busy with phones today. That's been pretty cool.
2 calls. Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
3 calls.
3.
Oh,
we had
3.
Donnie, Rick Jenkins, and
so,
Matt. Look at that.
So busy she lost track. That's awesome.
I'm ready for a nap.
The greatest part is she was actually paying attention to the show and didn't see that Matt was calling in. She's like, "Oh crap!" I had to poke her with a message. It was great.
That. Yeah.
What do you got, Jeff? You got anything you want to throw out this week?
Just real quick, some of the stuff we see on Facebook. If you're in our private group, and certainly if you're watching the show, that means you're interested in running your business better. So when you see some of these guys in some of the other groups, Swift drivers, where they're trying to convince people to not become owner operators, chime in with your experience, man.
Right.
Because a lot of the times, I was on a thread yesterday, and boy, this dude wrote a whole novel trying to convince this guy not to take the leap. And I'm like, hey, man, you want the real deal? PM me, and we'll go over some numbers.
Right.
And then they'll either get scared by it and not do it, or they'll decide to do it. But there's just so many people that it hurts my feelings, because for me, this has just been a great opportunity to be a contractor at Swift. So
Eric said, so having the engine off and running the APU is still hurting you on fuel. Yes, but not to as great a degree, Eric. And
engine wear,
right? Engine wear,
and on the newer trucks, idling is a DPF killer. You're not using a DPF when you're running that thing. All sorts of cost.
I don't believe Eric has a DPF on his. He's down there in that range that I am. I don't believe he's got a DPF. He may. I can't remember what your truck that is, Eric. Anyhow, so somebody else said something here. Has anyone purchased the Love retread drive tires? I'm not a fan of retreads unless they are done with Michelin retreads by Michelin at a Michelin factory. That's me. I know other people are like, oh my God, retreads are the devil. I had a great experience with retreads from Michelin.
Thing is, if you're going to buy a retread, go find out what the rolling resistance is on them if you can.
Right. And if you can't, I would pass.
Yep.
Which means they're going to need to be done by a reputable tire company such as Michelin tires, and using their known compounds that they use for their retreads and casings, and they can actually give you those numbers.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, just I don't know. I tend to stay away from recaps. I know the cost incentive is there, just because you think you're saving a couple of bucks, but if you're losing those tires more frequently, you're spending more on tires overall. So the savings you think you're saving, you're not saving in the long term. So
Yeah,
run the numbers.
remember we ran the numbers on my crap tires here a few months
Right.
ago on the show
Yep.
and on Facebook. And they're costing me a half mile per gallon because of the rolling
Rolling
resistance on them.
resistance, right?
So if you get retreads that cost, say, $200 less, whatever
Right.
it is, I don't know what they are.
But they got a 25-point rolling resistance increase.
Yeah, so then you're losing, $4,000 a year in fuel because of them. Do that math.
So the 250 save you what? Oh, it cost you 4,000. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the numbers are what's important here. The data is out there. Michelin, people like Michelin, and yes, I'm a Michelin fan, because I've just never had any problems with Michelin's.
Well, the cool thing about Michelin as a company is if you get
Mhm.
on their website and run their rolling resistance calculator, they have all of the tires made in that calculator. It's not
a
just
great
Michelin
number
tires.
of them, right?
They put their competitors' numbers up there.
Yep.
And one or two of them do beat Michelin tires on rolling resistance.
Absolutely.
So the question then becomes, how long do they last?
Right.
So,
And Michelin's got a new drive tire out. Jeff was telling me about yesterday, the day before, which has a 5-point rolling resistance drop. So that's an increase in fuel mileage, and they increased the tire life on it. So
yeah,
there
their new Energy Plus that just came out, that I was asking the Swift tire guys about it, which Charlie made fun of me for asking them anything. but they couldn't even get them because they called their actual supplier and they're like, yeah, those just came out. We haven't seen them yet. We can order them for you though.
If a
They
Swift
could tell
tire
me what
guy
they
ever
cost.
watches this and you don't know what rolling resistance is, do better at your job. I'm going to throw it out there, right there, throwing down the gauntlet.
I'm nicer than Charlie.
Just saying. Look, I know about trucking because I'm a truck driver and I'm a business owner of a small trucking company. I know a lot about tires. You want to know why? Because they're one of our largest costs. I know a lot about fuel. Why? Because it's one of our biggest expenses. If your only job is to know tires and you don't know what rolling resistance is and you look at me dumbfounded, I'm going to make fun of you. And I'm going to tell people about you. And I'm going to tell people to avoid you where you are, period. Sorry. Okay, I'm better. Hey, everybody. How you doing?
That's all I had to say.
All right, guys. So last call. You got about 30 seconds because I'm going to go through my little spiel. Hey, do us a favor. If you haven't already, please go to the channel, hit the subscribe button, click the thumbs up on these videos, you guys. We get like 4 or 5 thumbs ups. I mean, there's 80, 90, 100 of you every week that watch the videos. You come back, but I only get 4 or 5 thumbs ups. I don't know. Do they suck? Are you watching and laughing at us? Are we doing something wrong? Let us know. But if you like the videos and you like what we're producing and putting out to you guys, please put the thumbs up on there. I know it sounds silly and it's all that cliche crap, but it actually helps us get to more people because of the YouTube analytics and all that sort of thing. Don't forget to hit the little bell button at the top of the YouTube channel. It lets you know when we're going live or we put out new videos and things like that. Like last week we did that little excerpt video where we got to show off the updates to the load board that we think is going to be live pretty soon. I'm not going to give a date because I'm not falling into that trap, but you may be pleasantly surprised extremely soon for those of you on the test. All right. So you guys, once again, thank you. Like every week, thank you for being with us, spending an hour and a half of your time calling in and doing that sort of stuff with us. It does mean a great deal to us. You guys don't know how much it humbles us to to know that you're here. Oh, I see a quick question. Narvik, do owner ops pay trailer fees? At Swift Transportation, we do not pay trailer fees.
Nope.
That was an easy one to throw up there. I like it. So there you go.
They won't even let us pay the trailer fees. Charlie and I were trying to buy a trailer from them so we could get paid more, and they won't do it.
Right. Like I was offering to lease a trailer from them just so I could have a good trailer all the time and I would maintain it. And so I knew it was always good and it would always pass. And they're like, nah, man, not right now. So we'll see. It's something I'd like to do. I'd like to own my own trailer and just run load board freight constantly and be happy. But guys, thank you once again. We're going to wrap this thing and, once again, come back and see us on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. We're here every week. I'm up to week 37 consecutive weeks doing the show, you guys. I'm pretty proud of that. But I want you to understand something that it does. It means a great deal. I've said it already 3 times. It means a great deal that you guys are here every week and you come back and you listen to us and you participate and become part of the group. We're here to help you guys do better and of course help us do better. So why not? We'll see you guys next week. Jeff, Rosie, that's Jeff. Damn it. There's Jeff. There's Rosie. I'm Charlie. This is Contractors Corner, and we're rebranding the Contractors Corner Consulting Group. Coming soon, guys. Keep your eyes out for it. We'll let you know how to traverse that whole nonsense. We'll see you next week, Tuesday, 6 p.m. I'm trying to get Jordan Bean in here for you mentors so you can hear some updated information on the mentor program. Till next week, we're out. Be safe.